Jesse Austin with Wisconsin Rapids Community Media with my co-host Carla Lenk of North Central Community Action Program with the latest episode of Community Business Matters. This is a program dedicated to local entrepreneurs talking about their businesses and the successes and challenges that they faced and sharing those with our viewing audience. And Carla has worked with our next guest here today, and I'd like to learn more about him.
Okay, I'd like to introduce Ed Moreno. He has taken over Zaxx Technology Specialists, and it is a different business now. So, Ed, let's hear a little bit about why you took this business over and where you might be going with it.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I took it over because I do have the passion for computers, repairing them, work with customers, and that's been doing it for several years now.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this area of expertise. What stoked your interest?
I worked for a cable company early 2000s, and that's back when the internet modem started, high-speed internet started to come out, and I was installing those on the computers, and the troubleshooting that kind of went involved with it, I actually enjoyed going through. It's some computers you hook up the internet and it worked great, others not so easy. So I guess it was at that point where just working with the computers and with the internet and just something about it, I enjoyed the troubleshooting task a lot with it.
Excellent.
So that's kind of where I started with that. And then from there, I took another position, working like an inventory position, and worked a lot with computers, with the inventory, with all that. And from there, work with computers daily. I wanted to just go back to school and get my degree in computer networking, and thinking about what I started with back in 2000 to where I was at this point. I went back to Mid-State and received my degree as networking specialist, and from there I started working as Zaxx Technology Specialists.
And you were the manager of that store for a number of years.
At Zaxx Technology Specialists? Yes. I more of the service manager is what I was.
Okay. Also, questions have come up about, are you going to change your name? Are you going to continue on with your name? And if so, why?
Right now, I plan on keeping the name Zaxx Technology Specialists. The name's been around since early 2000s. In the community, it's a small community. Most people know about it, and I'd like to keep it like that.
So how long have you worked at Zaxx Technologies?
For Zaxx, I worked collectively 5 years, because I did work there for a few years. I left there, went and did more networking on the business side of stuff, on the corporate side of things, and decided to come back to Zaxx and pursue the repairing of the computers and the networking business side of stuff as well. So
How many employees do you have at?
right now it's me and one other service technician.
Okay.
And so what made you, this is a big step here, taking on the reins of control. What made you decide to take that big step?
Well, I've been doing it, basically on my own for a few years now, and knew I could do it because I was doing it, and decided to approach the owner if he would ever consider selling it down the road, and because of his other jobs.
Yeah, he has the former owner has a lot of other things on his plate.
Yes. So, and being unable to, attend the store regularly, I thought I could, make a go of it and keep the store going.
I think that Zaxx also has a lot of interest in the store continuing on and a lot of faith in what you can do, because he's spoken of it to me and was really happy that you exhibited an interest in coming forward to purchase that business. And it was a purchase, and you might want to talk a little bit about that, how you managed to put everything together. And because buying a business or starting a business is really complicated at times. You have to do a business plan. You have to do, where's your financing coming from? And do you want to just talk a little bit about that, Ed?
Sure. Yes, it was definitely challenging. It was a lot of work, a lot of hours upon hours of creating a business plan and trying to come up with the financing and how I was going to make that work, trying to reach out to resources for the financing.
Everybody knows that you have to have a certain amount of financing from banks and from different things and putting collateral together. I get a lot of people coming in and saying, collateral? What is that? And I says, everything you own, but we don't take children of any kind. It's the physical things that you own. And they said, well, we don't own anything. Well, I says, you must own a car, because how did you get here? Well, yeah, but it's not worth much. And then we go, well, how much is it worth? Well, I don't know. Well, go on Kelly's Blue Book and get an idea of what it might be worth. And then we go from there. At one point, we even counted pots and pans for someone that was going into food preparation. So everything that you own has as an asset is worthwhile. You just have to put your mind in that frame. You had inventory that you could use from the store. You had although you leased that facility, but you had a lot inside the store itself. And then you have degrees, which is fantastic. There are a lot of people who think they know about computers and really don't. They can get into a lot of trouble by trying to fix a computer. Then they bring it into you, sort of like plumbing,
Yes. So how did the two of you come together? How did you meet Carla?
Zaxx Brewing sent him to me, and he prepared me. He says, I'm sending you Ed Moreno, and he's going to come and talk to you about a business plan. And I said, okay, I'll be prepared.
Okay.
When you do a business plan, and first of all, I wanted to commend Ed because he had to go through, he had to keep that business going. That was his source of income, so he had to keep working, and he had to do this business plan. And I would say, no, you can't do it this way. You have to fix this. You have to rewrite that. And sometimes I would put in sentences. And sometimes I would do research, which I didn't know what I was doing half the time. But trends that are going on, you do Google research and bring stuff in. And he would then decide whether he needed that or not. And he ended up with a fairly sizable business plan. It had to be 1.5 inches by the time that we got done, because a business plan is made to read easily. It's made to use a lot of white space and lead the eye down so that when a financial institution gets it, they can look at it and say, okay, we can do this. He also had to do preparation to be before several loan committees. And they ask pertinent questions because these are dollars that, in my instance, I have a loan committee, so I don't make the final decision. It would be nice if I say, oh, sure, Ed, I'll give you whatever you need here. Just, here's a check. Because it's federal dollars coming through the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture federal program, we get the money through a grant, and then we have to be very hard-nosed about going through some of these questions, and sometimes clients get very frustrated with me because I have to do this and I have to do that, and there's a lot of documentation. And that paperwork is the basis for knowing that we will be paid or there are going to be some bad things happening.
Okay.
I mean, we will take things back. We don't want to. We try not to, but things have to be done. There's judgments that will be placed on them. Judgments mean that you will never be able to buy or sell anything until that loan is satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's ways around that, but it's pops up wherever you go.
Serious business.
It's a serious piece of business. It really is not something you want to get involved with. So those are the types of things that we have to look at. Ed, I compliment him. He sailed through that in 3 months. I had one client that was like stream of consciousness, and he had reams of stuff, and that was just his executive summary. It was just like 10 pages. And I said, no, you've got your history in here, you've got your management policies, this is all jammed into the executive summary. I can't do this, I have to separate all this out. You've got your whole business plan in one section, and you have to kind of separate it out and bring it into some logical progression here.
Mm-hmm. If someone would ask you what service it is that you provide to your customers, what would you say that your primary focus is?
My primary focus right now is we do a lot of computer repair and computer sales. And also, like on-site service, whether it be businesses or residential. Businesses, networking side of things, setting up servers, and with that, I also want to move forward with, more remote support for customers, so that way we can repair the computer while they're still sitting at home,
mm-hmm.
make it convenient for them, and also looking at other options like, I don't know if you've seen those commercials, like the internet house, I guess you could call it. Everything is all intertwined with the internet, at your home, whether it be your fridge or your thermostat, and just, options like that is also thinking about going on down the road. Mm-hmm. So, anything basically that's internet related,
Have you seen that commercial where that little boy is sitting in a restaurant with his parents and he's got the phone and this guy's walking his dog and the lights are going on all over and he thinks it's haunted? Did you see it?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
And, is there something you can do to stop that? I would think that would be absolutely creepy to see this, all the lights, big house, so it's coming, like ghosts are walking through it or something.
Well, I think that might just be a matter of the motion sensors on the lights, if it's picking up a dog walking down the road or
No, this little kid is going, and his mother says, do you know what he's doing? He's putting all the lights on in the house again.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's
using a smartphone.
Well, probably not let my kid have the smartphone at that time. That's what he's going to be doing. But yes, that's kind of one of the ideas, like to move on, a little bit down the road, so it's, because everything is all tied in together,
Mm-hmm.
Everything, you have access to everything nowadays, and so to me, that's the sky's the limit with that.
Okay. Yes, because everything, even if you buy these new things, these Alexis or derivatives of, everything has to be synced in with your Wi-Fi, with your computer, with everything.
Yep. And it's all synced in with your Wi-Fi in your house. Most people have. Mm-hmm. Then, and you have your smartphone, then you can be anywhere. Then, you've got communication everywhere you go. Communicate to your house, everything. So that's how things are, and getting to be more and more. And I would like to be on that same bandwagon.
Okay.
Well, it would behoove you to be. You have to be in order to meet your clients'
Yep.
questions and things that are happening.
In the course of writing that business plan, and you can help me out here as well, Carla, since you have that expertise. What did you what were your? I guess you could say, what were your selling points within the business plan to say attract financing? What was your story? I guess in terms of why I should get financing or why I should be supported in this business venture.
Well, it's kind of, starting to focus, okay, this is where I was, so many years ago, and I've escalated to where I'm at right now. So I've got the history there, I've got the knowledge, I can do this, and how I want to progress forward, what I want to do, with remote support and the internet house like we were just talking about, and, more business network, getting more involved with the business side of stuff, with networking, that's all big, so that's where I'm going with it all. I just need to kind of request for a little assistance on getting the financing to help me move forward with that.
So what have you done some outreach already in that area in terms of reaching out to local businesses, or are you planning to expand beyond our local area in terms of who you'd be talking to?
I reached out. There's a couple of local businesses that I reached out to, and I've actually picked up a couple of new ones. And obviously I'll be local. I'm not gonna expand out like 2 hours away.
Okay.
Not right now. I'm not looking at that. But the central Wisconsin area. I've done business work for down in Adams. Plover, Marshfield. I have a lot of customers from Marshfield. I haven't personally had to go to Marshfield yet, but they brought their work to me. And these are businesses bring their work to me. So right now I kind of keep that the central Wisconsin area, for now, and work with that.
So you've pretty much. I know Zaxx Technologies has made a name for itself, but apparently you've also made a name for yourself in terms of, folks are still coming back to your expertise, for the benefit of your expertise.
Yes, I have a lot of regular customers. Either repair the repeaters or buying new ones, and I've had a lot of people recommended to me to come in, even in the past couple of years, which I've last been here, that their friend recommended them to me. So it's and I greatly appreciate that, which is what allowed me to take this step forward.
Okay.
So
this is a more personal question I'm going to ask, and that is, are you a native of Wisconsin Rapids?
No, I live in Stevens Point.
Okay. Local community.
I live in Stevens Point and just drive to Rapids. So I do have family who live in Rapids. So,
Were you born here? Or?
Yeah.
No. I was born in California and then moved to Wisconsin when I was 6, maybe somewhere around there, and been here since. Plover, Stevens Point area, back and forth living. But like I said, I have family in Wisconsin Rapids, so this is kind of part of the community.
Yeah. Well, it's that whole Marshfield, Stevens Point, Wisconsin Rapids, Wausau area. It's all a central Wisconsin type of thing. And it seems like more and more people are beginning to look at this as a hub, and then it goes out from there into the littler cities and towns. But these 4 cities comprise a larger group, if you want to call it a group of cities of more urbanized people.
Yes.
Because then you have farms and cranberry bogs and everything else.
Yep.
So, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers in terms of the business and the services that you can provide?
We were talking about this before, and I think that Ed right now is just trying to get his feet on the ground, because this has only been a month and a half since he has taken over the business. And there's lots of different things that he has had to get his hands around in order to go forward. So perhaps this is on the horizon, and things change so fast. I was thinking back as we were sitting here, 1995, and I was in a big university campus. We didn't have internet until 1995. In fact, there was one computer when I came back in 1987 to the campus that was chained in the closet where the paper was, and you had to have the key in order to use the computer, and it was a floppy disk, and all you had to do was plug it in, but you didn't have to have cords or anything because it just worked on electricity. And this was on a four-year campus. So back then, things, you think 1995, that isn't that far back. And yet, by 2005, everybody was on the internet. Everybody was doing different things.
Absolutely.
And it'll go on, it seems to go with a leap, and then it'll just be status quo for a while, and then it'll be another leap of intellectual propriety, or property, I should say, and then go on for something else. And trying to keep pace with that, with the populace itself, and then to have specialties. I mean, it's a large piece of information you have to chew down and get your arms around, because you're supposed to be the expert in the field. And if you don't have that expertise, then it becomes apparent very quickly. They ask you a question, well, I saw this in a magazine, and I want to know if I can get some of this, and you're saying, what? What is this they're talking about?
It's very hard to keep up with everything that changes. Computers, they're all dated as they come off the line. So it's to try and keep up with all the technology, with everything. Very difficult. You almost can't do it. So you just do the best you can to keep up with it, so that way there are problems, current problems, then you can assist with it. A lot of it was when Windows 10 come down. There's a lot of problems with the Windows 10. People wake up in the morning, next thing you know, their computer's got a whole new operating system on it. So that was,
And all
that
you
was a
heard
big
about
change.
was, I hate this, give me back my 7, I don't want 10.
Yep, that's I heard a lot of that. There was a lot of going back to Windows 7. That was change. A lot of people don't like
Because
that
nothing
change.
else will match 7 anymore. I mean, it doesn't work anymore. So you are forced to do the 10 and anything else that's coming up.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, to keep up with all that is definitely a task, to do what we can. So, but no,
Do you
we work.
sell a lot of phones? Do you do any at all?
No, we no longer
Okay.
sell phones. We do repair them. Broken screens, that's usually the biggest thing with screens. So we do, screen repairs on phones, or iPods, or iPads, or tablets. And so we do that, and even hardware parts aside of them too, we also repair.
But you sell computers and you sell iPads.
Yes. Well, we sell basically anything that's on an electronic side of stuff like that. We don't keep a lot of that, the iPads or Apple stuff in stock. It's kind of as a per order basis.
Okay.
So, and we do get that regularly. Same with like Apple products in general. We also, sell those at a per order basis. Also repair Apple computers, whether it be the iMacs, again, their iPads or Pods or MacBook Pros. So we do so it's not just PC repairs, it's also Mac products too, repaired as well.
And that was my first introduction to Zaxx Technologies. We had a major thunderstorm, and it actually hit our power box, and it blew up our computer. There was a small fire in our basement as a result of this hit, and I took the computer and not expecting anything to be recovered. They did a wonderful job of recovering everything that was on there because it
But
was
you had to get a new computer.
Yes, it was shot. So,
Yeah.
so your expertise such as yours is greatly appreciated. To say
Well,
the
thank you.
least. So, with that, I would really appreciate your joining us, Mr. Moreno. It's Ed Moreno of Zaxx Technologies, and if you could tell our audience who you are, your business, and where you're located.
My name is Ed Moreno. I own Zaxx Technology Specialists and located at 240 West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, 54495. Come on down, we're open 9 to 5. We can repair your computers, phones, whatever needs to fix.
And you gave me the hours of operation. What days of the week are you open down there?
Monday through Friday.
Okay, Monday through Friday.
Yep. Saturdays are possibility to come back to see how what the call is for it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
but generally yes, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, all year round.
Okay. And Carla, did you have any closing thoughts with?
No, I think that Ed is scheduled to have a billboard within the area shortly, and that's through SCORE, which I'm a part of, and that is something that people should be looking for.
Once again, we thank you for tuning in to Community Business Matters. I thank our guest, Ed Moreno of Zaxx Technologies, my co-host, Carla Lenk of North Central Community Action Program, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Take care.